All right, I've got some work done down here on the HO layout. In fact, I've got the power turned back on to the servos and Arduinos. I say Arduinos because I've been busy and got the Arduino that goes over here and runs the rest of the layout is wired up and good to go. Have the bus line ran for both the 3.3 and the 5 volt. The 5 volt terminates here. The 3.3 keeps going. It's just dangling over there for now because I was working over here. And then I teed off the 3.3 to come up into here so that I could power the Arduino on this side and also the touch buttons for here and there. It's taken a little bit of time, like I was saying in previous videos, for cutting, soldering, and then heat shrinking all the wires. However, everything is currently working for these 10, at least the power is, and this one, where I've got the power hooked up to anyway. And it also is working, at least this one that I hooked up temporarily, knowing I could find which servo it went to. The other thing that took a little bit of time was I ended up labeling all of the wires that were for these 10, and then actually each position depending on where it was at. So like this, so that I knew which wires were going where for when I'm trying to hook up the servos. Is where the big part with this is these 10 are going to be linked to those 10. So that's what I've been working on. Got all of those wired up to the Arduino so that the IO for this can talk to it and say flip the servo. So that's where we're at for now. I do need to get this cleaned up. I've been working on this in between other projects to get the house prepped for the next club meeting that's coming up in a couple weeks. So I'll be doing that, probably focusing more cleaning on the weekends that are coming up, and then working on the electrical and stuff on this. In between that, I also need to get the paddle ship moved somewhere. I don't know where. We'll figure that out later. But anyway, that's where we're at. Kind of the end game for getting the servos and the turnouts done up. And then once I get that done, I'll start doing feeders for the tracks and that. And then getting that ready for the power cab and getting it working. I did end up running out of wire. That was part of the problem of taking some time to get things going. And actually just ordered another spool because I figured that by the time I'm done getting the servos all wired up, this 100 feet is probably going to be gone. So that's where we're at. We'll be back when I get some more done. Hopefully, what I'm thinking is I'll do that once I get all of the turnouts done up, and possibly wait and also have the power going too for the tracks and show things going back and forth on the layout. So we'll be back when I've got some more of that update done. I figured I'd show this since I can't remember if I showed it on the nscale layout or not, but I learned this really early on, and I don't remember who does it, and I'm sure a lot of other people have adopted it. But I took an old blue box car that I had. Oh, who knows how old it is, because I got it when I was real young, so at least over 20 years old. And what most people do is write the color of the wire that they're using on some tape and put it on the side of the car. In this case, I had some spare wire that I ended up just putting it on there. So I've been working on getting things soldered up and good to go. The other thing is I decided I wasn't going to solder the feeder wires to the bus. I ended up finding some suitcase connectors for, I think they were 40% off, almost 50% off on Amazon. And so I decided to just grab a bunch of those and one to refill my stock. And I'd already gotten everything wired up over here for that way because I had some extras. And so I figured I'd just keep doing it, and it's made things go a lot faster because I don't have to put the wire in or the bus line up, feed a bunch of heat shrink up to have on hand, then strip the bus wire, solder, and then heat shrink over it. So right now I've got this spot done, all soldered and hooked up. And so I'm going to start working over here. And my idea is I'll get all the feeders done, then I'll run the bus line and start crimping or clamping, whichever way you want to call it, the suitcase connectors on. So that's where we're at. And I can see the light at the end of the tunnel for at least getting electricity or the DCC up to the tracks. So we'll be back once I get some more done. Okay, I've hit another massive milestone. As you can see, the track's got power, locomotive's up and running, and I've ran it one time. Now hopefully that the camera's running, it'll go the entire length. I'm gonna go a little faster just because it's getting late and need to start wrapping up and getting ready for bed. But this is essentially the mainline run from point A to point B. I'm not going to do any of the turnouts, but caught something. But anyway, that's where we're at. The only other thing that's left to hook up is those push buttons there, or touch sensors, not buttons. And all I have to do is I'm just going to suitcase connect them to the other ones that are over here, or the other input lines. Luckily with those, I don't really need to mark anything because they're set for, I can just match them up to the diagram once I get it in. So that's where we're at. Glad to have gotten this done. I have a train club meeting in a week as of filming this, and wanted to try and have this done for that, even though it's an nscale club, but that way there's a little bit of something else and new. But anyway, that's all for this video. I've been really happy with this. I was debating on not finishing all of the wiring tonight to the track, and I'm glad that I trudged through it to get it done quick. It ended up only being another 10 minutes than what I thought. So anyway, that's where we're at. I think we'll call that. I didn't end that quite right, so I had to cut and change this, but I think this will be the end of the video. Thank you everybody for following along with this build. I know it isn't the normal nscale that I've been using, and it's HO, but I'm looking forward to getting this hammered out and at least start working on some scenery, some buildings, but also, working on the nscale as well. Kind of helped revitalize both layouts working on this. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And for those that have subscribed, I really appreciate that as well. And we'll see everybody in the next video.